Hello, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me now? Hello. Can you hear me? You can hear me, guys? Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Great. Oh my God. I'm terribly sorry. I really don't know what is going on. I have to no camera because I am not at home. I'm on my I'm on my at my office. There's people around here, so I just can show them. But guys, I'm terribly sorry. I really don't know exactly what's happening. I was trying to figure out all the configurations and everything. So it's just a terrible thing. I know that. I'm terribly sorry. No, Kumaro, I'm not teaching you patience. I'm not teaching you patience, guys. Yeah, I'm not teaching you patience. Yeah, you cannot see me, Forex friends, because I can show myself because I am not at my I'm not at home. I at my office, so I can I really can show the other guys over here. Okay, so I'm terribly sorry, terribly sorry. Okay, so well, let's begin. What a week, guys! What a difficult week, huh? It's a very uh, uh, um, counter trend wiki. I really don't know exactly why. Maybe it's because NFP tomorrow, but we can see from there it's we don't have a lot of volatility. We have the DAX that was going up, was going in that direction. Look at that. So it was gaining strength uh, to yesterday. The DAX, for you that maybe are not familiar, it's the strength of the dollar, right? So it's absolutely incredible that the dollar was gaining strength, but even though it was it was not able to beat currencies like less AUD USD because the forex pairs there are like a balance. So uh, if you are on a balance, if something is heavier than other, so it goes down. So the other currency goes up. That's how the market works. And I'm very amazed that even with the force of DAX, look at that, right? He wasn't strong enough. Sorry, not the DAX, the DXY. Sorry, DXY. With the strength of the DXY, he wasn't strong enough to go and reverse currencies like AUD USD, Euro USD, right? There was a trade that we are terribly now. But I think that it's because maybe it's because NFP, right? We don't know exactly what's the forces of the game, but it's probably something that it's related with the political issues and with all the things that have been happening this week. Look at the CAD. The CAD, it's completely crazy because it's USD CAD. It's a very sensible currency for politics, right? For political issues because of the oil, right? The oil prices are very sensible to the CAD economy. So if the oil prices go up, and that's why I have US oil right here. If the oil prices go up, the CAD goes up and US CAD go down. So we don't have a very clear trend right here. We came from a downtrend, as we can see, but even though it wasn't that strong. We have a big downtrend at the beginning of the week. Look at that. But it wasn't strong enough. Oil prices came from 90.20 to 922. For the oil prices, that's not that big a deal. So it can be, you can see in all the currencies over here. Look, we have that big downtrend on the USD AUD CAD, but it was not conservative trade. Then we came with the ADX coming down, and look how exactly when the ADX starts coming down, it's when prices just not correspond to that downtrend, right? So ADX start to go down and then start to go up, and it's indicating that we can now have a uptrend for now, but still being an uptrend where we have the daily pointing that it's a buy trend, but very little buy trend, and it is changing colors. Look how it's changing colors. So it's very difficult to send a signal like that, and it's just a small trend, and it pretty much confusing because we need the 4-hour and the daily going into the same color, going to the same direction. You have AUD CHF with the same situation despite this big hype over here, right? Okay. Again, guys, I would not send signal when we do not have clearly indications on the higher time frames. That's how the professional trades trade, right? So that's what we have to do. That's what we must do. We have to understand how they perform, and why they perform like this. And they do that most because they can understand and they can provide strong signals with precise entries and disciplined steps for that. So we just should be aware that things are not that clear. We have small changes, small price changes. Look, it's very small price changes. So it means that the market doesn't know where to go. Even Bitcoin, look at that. Even Bitcoin, we usually have much more clearly directions, right? CAD-T has this big hype over here. Again, now it's coming down. So there is no clear direction. It was a bounce, just a bounce, right? CAD-JPY the same. Now it's going down. DXY, it's now with no direction, with no clear direction. The ADX, it's clearly coming down since yesterday. So we must be attention. We must pay attention to that because it's a clear signal that markets just doesn't know where to go. Just doesn't know where to go. During this week, look, the beginning of the week, price went up against the trend on the EuroCAD, then went down, but went down with no ADX, which means that it's not a regular, it's not a trend movement. Then ADX, when ADX starts to come up, there was no triple cross, and markets just go sideways, right? So there's no clear direction in any pairs. Can you see that, guys? Am I being clear with you? Please, I need your feedback here. Am I being clear? You guys, could you please answer to that? Forex friends, Adusei Sarkodi, Olani, Olaye, Olaleye, Hengi Teddy. The ball had profit. It's now a member. Very welcome. Eddie Bennett. Guys, Nizan, Reboot, am I being clear here? Because it seems that markets this week are very cautious. Kay, Robert Reed, Henki Teddy, thank you very much for your answer. But what I mean is that we have not clearly trends. Our system, it's a very clear trend following, right? So what we need is just a clear trend for we to place our trade. That's a clearly trend. Look, that's a clearly trend. And that's why it produces this kind of pips in just 1 week, 478. Okay? That's what happens when we have clearly trends. But when we have such a thing like this, we really don't know where to go. Look, there is 2 days that we don't know where to go. And even having a uptrend over here, it's not a clear, strong trend. It's just 195 pips against a 400, almost 500 pips trend. There's no clear trend. And I'm pretty much convinced that it's a mix about politics situations and the NFP. So the combination of both are bringing very uncertainty to the markets, right? It's bringing how can I say unsafety to the markets. They are not clear. They are not safety, right? That trend that we entered was a strong downtrend over here. Look, that was a strong downtrend from here. It was an uptrend from here, but now a downtrend for here. So it's not that clear as well. That's why I post this signal and I told you it's a risky trade, right? I'm trading as well, as you can see here. Okay, we are negative for now. And the GBP pairs, they have this huge drop over here. Maybe price will try to bounce back. They will test the moving average as they have been doing from here, going a little further, a little up, but eventually they will test the moving average over here and will go down again. All the GBP pairs are in downtrend. Look, GBP Chief as well, GBP JPY as well, GBP NZD as well. But why, Rafa? Because they were already on downtrend and they have some economical calendar news that wasn't that good to GBP. So that's why they're all on negative territory. And our system was able to identify that they were coming down. They were coming down, right? From here with the trend. So you could have a 122 pips, which is not that big a deal with GBP AUD that have much more strong and volatility numbers. But even though it's very awkward, it's a awkward week. Look, GBP Chief, that's a huge candle. If you're familiar with the trader Oscar Velez, they used to call this kind of candles elephant candles, elephant bars. I don't know if you have already been introduced to Oscar Velez. It's a great trader, very famous trader. And they used to call this kind of bars, this kind of candles, elephant candles. They are, for him, it's the beginning of some kind of movement, right? But again, probably the candles will test the moving average and then we'll go down again. So it's not very clear, guys. I can't see anything very clear from here. I can't see, I really can't. And that's interesting because we must deal with different situations, right? We must be adaptive. We must be aware of what can happen. Even the entity pairs are not very clear. Look, the 4 hour, it's going down in the downtrend, and the daily trend is coming down as well, but it's still a buy trend. So mixed feelings, mixed situations. And when this thing happens, we just stay out of the market. It's very clear. Look how ADX is behaving awkwardly. That's not the normal behavior for ADX, right? That's not normal. That's not what we are used to. That's not what we are looking for above all. That's what we are looking for. Triple cross splitting from each other, ADX pointing up, the background with the same color, and bang, a good trade, a 50 good pips. That's our pips that make sense for us, right? I don't feel that this kind of pips make sense at all. Look at ADX on AUD CAD. Very, very slow. Look at the moving average. They're crossing, they're crazy. They're like some spaghetti, like noodles, something like that. No, we don't want that, right? That's something that doesn't make sense for us. Okay, those are aggressive trades. You are trading and you can make profits from that, right? You can make profits. You are allowed to take that trade, but it's for yourself, and you need to be extra. We need extra cautious for that. Okay, this is something we must be. We must keep that in mind, because they are trends that are against the trend, because on the 4-hour we have a downtrend. Sorry, on the daily, which is the thicker line here, we have a downtrend, but on the 4-hour we have at the beginning of a uptrend. But even going against the trend, you can have a bunch of pips. It's incredible, because we don't understand correctly what's going on with the market right now, but we must understand, and we must have a strategy for that. The strategy is stay out. That's the trend we need. That's the trend that is clearly down. That's where we place our trade. And from here to here, from here to the next bar against you, you can book in a matter of 5 days, which means just 1 week, 435 pips. That's a clearly downtrend. That we must follow. That's what we must see. That's what we must understand, right? So US oil going down for now. Look, now oil seems to assume a kind of position. Let's see. The gold going up. That is a trade that made sense for me today, right? It happened midnight, which was just impossible for me to send you signals, okay? And we just must be very confident that we are doing anything wrong, okay? If we have something that it's not going okay, and we're just not seeing very clearly the trend, good opportunities, trades, we should not take that into consideration, okay? Okay, guys, do you have any questions? You have any questions, guys? You're allowed to make questions. Forex Trend is telling me he took the 15 minutes. Let me show his. Let me show him. I took 15 minutes, but after I entered the trade, did not go as far as anticipated. Is there anything that can help me to know that trend has exhausted its strength? Which pair are you talking about, Forex friends? Which pair are you talking about? Could you please tell me? Can you hear me, Forex friends? Which trade were you talking about? Kumaru-san, I took GBP CAD. It made the 20 pips profit. I closed half and left the rest run. It hit break even. Not bad. Yeah, not bad. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, you can take these signals. Okay, you are allowed. But we have a plan. What is your plan? Are you following your plan? Is that correct? Are you correct about this? Otherwise, we're just collecting pips. Okay, we're just collecting pips. That's what I'm telling you. That's not something that can be sustainable. You must achieve consistency. So you must follow a plan where you can hold to that, where you can understand what's going on, right? Here, I can clearly see what's going on. There's a trend going down, okay? There's an elephant bar, but in fact, we don't know exactly. We don't know exactly. We don't know for sure if this is a economic calendar news that can be affecting GBP for a long run, or if just impacts at that moment, and we just need extra precautions because it can just bounce back against us, right? In my opinion, it's not bouncing back. That's why I set the signal, but it's a trend that I think, it's a trade that I think it is with the trend. That's why make me comfortable to place the signal and place my trade. But I will hold that. I will hold till it reaches the take profit number one, at least the take profit number one, right? Did I answer you, Kamaru-san? Forex Fred, how do you keep holding a trend even when the price has break the 20 MA? I keep holding the trend till it reaches my stop loss, right? Okay, GBP USD, right? GBP USD, that's the pair you were talking about. Let's analyze GBP USD, okay? What we have in GBP USD? Very mixed feelings. Look, very, very mixed feelings, right? You didn't have any opportunity here. Sorry to tell you that, even on the 15 minutes, there was no opportunities. Look at that. Look how flat are the candles. Look, even this opportunity here that could reach its over 61 pips was a very risky trade. Why, Rafa? Because you have a grayish background. You have a grayish background and a background where we have clearly not very, there is no decision on the bigger time frames. If it is a buy or a sell, we can check that. But from the indicator, we can see that, right? From the indicator, we can see that. Look at the 4 hour. You doesn't know exactly this is a uptrend, right? That was a sell trend, a downtrend. Look, clearly a downtrend with the ADX pointing up. Okay, the daily was down again, but now we have the ADX pointing down. Look, ADX is pointing down, and we had a 4 hour breakout over here. Look, that's an elephant bar. That's the kind of elephant bar we are talking about. So we have an uptrend that reaches only 140 pips on 122 if we disconsider the weeks. So there's a very strong indecision on the higher time frames. And now it seems to coming down. Okay? So that's why I'm confident that this can go down. Right? Let's see the 1 hour. Look how price test the moving average. Look how price tested the moving average and then went down. That week, it's the second before the economic news went public. So we have a bar where the traders like Kumara-san book some profits and then exit, right? They book some profits and then exit. Look, it was precisely the half of the candle of the bar. So that's something that we need to understand, and that's a hint that I'll give you, right? When we have a big candle like this, we are very likely to have a correction, a 50% correction of that elephant bar. You can write that down, okay? That's why I have to go live and talk to you about this situation. That's experiences that I have been watching in the market for many years. When we have this kind of elephant bars, I hate that name, but that's the name that the very well-known trader Oscar Valles have gave. So we must follow. This elephant bar will be corrected by 50%, and that's exactly what happened in this case here. Look, exactly what happened. It's very likely that to happen. So what does it mean, Rafa? It means that we will have a strong downtrend. We wait because that will be a correction over here. And then when trend goes again to the downside, we can place the trade, right? If we have the ADX 2 pointing up, the moving average splitting from each other. So all of those conditions that we know very well, okay? Guys, I have to be out for just 2 minutes and then I will come back, okay? And I will come back, answer this question here. Can you look at GBP CAD on H1? Did this pair met our rules for entry? Let's see. GBP CAD. And you're gonna answer me, right, Kamaru-san? You are gonna answer me and I will come back to see what you did answer. And you other members, you can do the same thing, right? You can answer as well. For your own knowledge, for your own analysis, was this a valid entry following the triple cross rules? I'll come back. Hello, guys. I'm back, but unfortunately, I'll have to leave in 5 minutes. Oh, guys, I'm terribly sorry. Unfortunately, the live didn't work as I was expecting with all the sound issues. I promise that this is just for this week. Next week, things are gonna be better. Things are gonna be much more professional, as you deserve, as the channel deserve, as our members deserve, right? In all the Forex community. So let's see. Let's answer the question from Kumar-san. Let's answer the question from Kumar-san. Kumar-san was asking if this trade on the 1 hour trade was a correct trade, right? Look at the GBP CAD. It was on a downtrend, okay? It is a downtrend, and it was a downtrend that was confirmed on the higher time frames exactly from here, right? But we didn't have the triple cross. We have this triple cross from here. So, was a good entry? Yes or no? Come on, guys. How to say, Sarkody, thank you very much. Forex friend, was a good entry? KA, was a good entry? Ballhead, Profit, was a good entry for you, in your opinion? Edouard Devier, was a good entry? Ed Bennett, was a good entry? I don't know if everybody is still here. Okay, let's answer that, okay? Let's see what Kumar-san have done. He took it as a sell, looked like a valid entry, and I am happy to say that, Kumar-san, you were right, okay? Your entry was correctly analyzed. The MA was crossed, okay? It was not a perfect, but it was a triple cross. We have the ADX pointing up, very shy, very, very shy. It was very beginning of the pointing up ADX, but it was pointing up, and it's still pointing up even with those strong bars on the 1 hour, okay? Let's see the 15 minutes. Again, the 15 minutes was telling you the same thing, right? So in my opinion, you did right, okay? In my opinion, you did right. But Rafa, why is that? Why is it not working? Because that's how market works. It doesn't work 100%. We just need to have the odds on our side. It works on many, many situations, but it doesn't work every time. There is no flawless system. If you know any flawless system, you should be very careful because you are being scammed, right? If somebody tells you that this system is 100% guaranteed, you're being scammed, right? But look, you are not wrong about your entry, but as I told you, and I told all the members in the group, this trade was a risky trade. And why is that a risky trade, Rafa? Because this huge bar here, right after a economic calendar news, we have volatility, we have a shake on the market, right? So we must be a little bit concerned about this, right? But you were correct on your analysis, Kumar-san, and you did, in my opinion, you did right when you exited the trade, right? You did right, but in my opinion, you should avoid doing that, okay? You should avoid doing that. Why? Because this is something that it's not with your plan. Or if you have something that when you reach 20 pips, you exit always, doesn't matter which conditions, okay, you are doing right. But if you're not doing that as a regular behavior, a regular situation where you're going to repeat yourself, you're going to repeat that over and over, doesn't matter the pair, doesn't matter the conditions, doesn't matter what happens, you're doing wrong. And you are collecting pips that are yours, of course. Those pips they belong to you, but they're not sustainable on the long run, okay? What is sustainable on the long run is to follow the same plan, is to follow the same thing, follow the same routine, okay? All right, Ed Bennett, why did you say that it was not a good entry? Ed Bennett. Kumara-san. It's my pleasure, Kumara-san. I had to understand everything that comes across on our minds as a trader, right? I know exactly what's the feeling. I know exactly what happens when we do that. Okay, that's something that we must just learn from the markets, right? That's why I keep insisting you to be very careful with your lot size. Be very careful with your risk reward trades, right? We must just follow the plan
doesn't matter what, and just risk 1% of our account. What's going to bring you consistency and money? Of course, we need and we want money. It's the consistency on the long run. And the long run, I don't mean by long run 10 years or 15 years. No, I mean by long run doing the same thing daily uh, for 1 year, 1 year and a half, 2 years, 2 years and a half, 3 years, right? That's what consistency is. That's what's precisely we need to do on the forex markets, because I'm not telling you just by myself, just because I believe that. No, I believe what really brings results. I believe on what really brings situations where I can guarantee that it's working for everybody. It's working for the long run. Okay, it's working for the very successful traders out there. So that's what I'm telling you. That's what I think it's gonna work for everybody. That's what I think it's gonna work for the traders that can really make a second income or a first income from the markets, right? As I am doing. So I think that's what's most important for you to do, is to follow the plan and to understand exactly how the markets are working and how your plan is adaptable and how can it be adapted to the situations. For now, for instance, my plan seems to be not very suitable for this kind of situation. That's why I don't see any good trades at all. That's why I'm not very confident about trading in those conditions. I feel very compelling to send you signals, but I am not going to send you signals for those one, of course, that are on our group. I'm not sending you signals just to send. I don't want you to be in in negative. No, I really understand the anxiety of being trading, but not trading. It's a position where you are a professional trader as well. You don't have to be with a trade on the markets, on the bullet, as we as we must say, to be a regular trader. You don't have to be trader to feel yourself placing trades every time, every moment. You're not being a trader if you do that, right? Am I being clear? We don't need to be on the markets trading every time. That's all. That's just what we need. We had to do. Okay. That's it, guys. I really have to go, and I really appreciate everything that you have done, all the patience. And I understand that we know exactly what we should do on these situations. In my opinion, we just should be out of the market for now. I really appreciate all your patience, waiting for the transmission, waiting for the live to be okay. And I promise that's going to be working much better next week. Okay. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. It's not guaranteed. I'll tell you over the morning, next morning. Okay. Thank you very much, you guys. Thank you very much for everyone. Please hit the like button if you didn't do that already. I really appreciate Forex Friends, Adusei, Sarkozy, Handy, Teddy, the Baldhead Prophet, Eddie Bennett, KAAEW, Robert Reed. I have to talk to you, Robert. Forex Friends, All I Need, Olaleye, Edward Devier, and of course, Kumarison again. Nizan is with us again. Thank you very much, Nizan, for all your support and all your consideration, guys. Thank you very much. See you. Bye bye.